So last year we had Fiona to Kona, chronicling your journey to Kona, and this year we're going to Nice. So what are we going to call it this year?
Well, Fiona to Nice doesn't really have the same ring as Fiona to Kona. So we thought long and hard about this. And one thing I grew up with was always having my mom on the soccer field. She would always say, "Go on, Fiona." And it is something that Irish people always say when they're cheering sports folks on. So it'll be, "Go on, Fiona," is going to be the name of our next series to chronicle all the things leading up to Nice.
So we're a couple weeks back from Cairns, Australia. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how the race went, some reflections?
Yeah, in my recent memory, it was the best race that I've had. One of those days where everything actually does come together. I swam really well. I swam by myself for the entire duration of the swim. And I was totally confident that I could do that. And when I came up into transition, I was probably a minute or so ahead of the next person. And that feeling of knowing that my swim has come so far and that I can actually use it to distance myself from folks is just a really neat evolution of me as a swimmer. And then as far as the bike goes, it was a pretty solo 4+ hours until the very end of the race, where I caught up to Radka, who was ahead of me, and then passed her with, I don't know, maybe 30+ miles to go. And then eventually Kate Gillespie-Jones also joined me and passed me. And I wasn't expecting anyone to come by me. I thought I was actually all by myself. So it kind of kicked my butt in gear for the last, I would say, 10-15 miles of the race. And I worked super hard to bridge the gap that she had made. And it just made the last miles fly by pretty fast because I was so focused on catching up to her that I wasn't really feeling the usual, like, just want to get off the bike at the end of the Ironman. But yeah, I left T2 with Kate, and we ran together for the first couple of miles, but I was breathing through my nose, running like 6:45 pace, and I could hear that she was laboring more than I was. And so even though that was faster than my anticipated race pace, I felt really comfortable just seeing how long I could push that and see if I can break her. Sorry, Kate. And that is actually what happened. At around mile 4, or probably 3 and change, she dropped back. And then for the next kind of rest of the run, I felt good. And then with about, I don't know, a couple miles to go, I saw Josh and all the folks that came to cheer me on. And he mentioned that Ueda was closing, and then I needed to be conscious of her, having shrunk the gap to about 2 or 3 minutes or something. And then I was running well, but I was definitely tired. And with, about 2 miles to go, we hit the final turnaround point, and I was less than 30 seconds behind me. I knew at that point that I either had to decide to really make it hurt, or she was going to catch me. And I figured that I had nothing to lose, and I really wanted to get that knee slot, and that I had the best day I could, and let's see what I could do. I definitely yelled out loud a few times, so sorry to the people that I probably startled. But I ran 2 of my fastest miles and grew the gap between the 20 to 30 seconds up to a minute. So I really got to enjoy the finish line and all the things, and just felt like I had really gotten the most out of myself, which I'm really proud of.
So you went from the DNF at Lanzarote a couple weeks prior to then probably your best race at Cairns. What do you think was the difference maker?
I think there are a couple of things. I had a lot of logistical and operational stuff that went right before we went to Lanzarote that I think kind of upset the balance a little bit of heading right into race week. But I made some errors during the race when it comes to my nutrition. I didn't consume enough sodium. I misjudged the amount of time that I was going to be spending on the bike, and that I never got out of the nutritional hole that I was in on the bike, which is, I think, what caused the pass out at mile 14. And the way I felt in Cairns and the amount of increased fluids and nutrition that I was able to take in was just so different, and I felt strong and energetic, and that I could handle the race dynamics so much better in Cairns. So big shout out to Precision Hydration, because we sat together after the race and they connected me with a doctor as well as a dietitian to really unpack like what it was that I had, where we had gone wrong and what I could do to, turn things around, and really worked.
What's next?
Well, I did qualify for Nice, so that was the goal. I actually wasn't far behind Bex, who finished 5th, so the two of us were really excited about that and had a great finish line hug. And so now I have about 9 weeks to Nice, and so I'm trying to find a way to fit a 70.3 in between now and then, so probably Zelensee. And then we're also getting married, so just throw a wedding in there as well on August 9th. So we've got an action-packed couple of months, and really starting training in earnest this week. So
Nice is the big goal for the year. What about the Ironman Pro Series?
I am definitely dipping my toes, or jumping, pick your metaphor, jumping into the pool of the Ironman Pro Series. My finish in Cairns got me 3,800 points or so, and right after the race I was ranked 30th. So it really seems like, why not give it my best effort and see where I could end up, because I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in how much better I am this year from last year. So I'm gonna stitch together as many of those races as I can, and definitely do World Champs in Nice, and then World Champs in New Zealand, and probably 2 70.3s. So we'll see how we do.